Hey guys, I'm John with TBW, and we're going to replace these plastic panels on the SQ5. This is a B9.5. Should be the same for the B9 and B9.5. So we're going to set these aside. As you guys probably know, the T25 and the T30 Torx bits are essential to remove the screws. We're going to replace all the T25 screws, or send you some if you need extras. The T30s, we don't have any. If we can find some, we will add those, but as of right now, we don't have those. So you'll have to reuse those ones. Everything else, including the push clips, or not push clips, but rather the M6 screws, the U-nuts, and even the rivet nuts that we use, will all be provided for you. So first thing is we're gonna start with the rear section. But actually, we'll install this one only after we install this engine bracket. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're installing this. There's gonna come preloaded with these 6mm U-nuts. Those just slide in place. They cover the holes to give it threads. The reason for the bracket is it drops it down to give us a flat level plane so that we can mount it and keep it flush. You're gonna use the T25s to hold it in place here, and then we'll use 6mm bolts here. The rear section is going to mount right to here. You're going to slide 2 U-nuts over these existing holes on the transmission mount. And this will go up here. You're going to hold this back section on with 2 of the M6 bolts that we send you. These other 3 holes through the middle here, those are the T25s. And again, you can reuse this factory hardware if you'd like, but we're going to send you some new ones. Let's go ahead and set the center one in place, and then you can let go of that for a minute. Align this. It's going to set up here, and get these. None of these screws do you want to install tight necessarily right now. Just get them started. This way you have a little bit of flexibility to move it if you need to slide it around. All right. On these right here, these 3 are going to use the T25 bolts as well. And where they meet, the front section is going to be overlapping. So once you got the rear one up and get these back 2 and these 3 bolts in place, then we'll install the engine panel. This front section is going to slide up underneath. Then they're going to overlap right here. You can start by getting this rear one in place. Like I said, don't tighten it down too tight. This way you can slide things around. These will overlap right here on the side. These are T25s. And then these also overlap right here, in the front and the rear panel. You're going to use 6mm bolts. There's going to be extruded U-nuts that are in place as well. We're just, like I said, just going to start those. We'll move on these sides and these right here. These bolts don't necessarily need to be in there. There's going to be a slight gap, but you should be able to get this started and it'll pull it tight. And those are also T25. So let's see. All right, T25s. These 2 right here are the T30s. Those are the only 2 that you're reusing here. All right, and then the last thing is going to be, and it doesn't have to be the last thing, but these 3 bolts right here, where we have the engine bracket that sits down. So this gives added support here. These are 6mm bolts as well that thread into those U-nuts. Once these are all in place, our final step is to tighten everything down. So we'll tighten these things down real quick, double check, make sure there's nothing loose. Should have used a drill. There's a lot of screws. All right. Last step is the 6mm bolts. Okay, everything's tight. It should be nice and clean. We're developing a rear piece as well to help cover this. So pay attention, that'll be out soon. That's going to require installing 2 rivet nuts here in the aluminum mount bracket here. And then we'll reuse these same bolts here so we can keep as much smooth airflow all the way through as possible. Installation is what, maybe 10-15 minutes once you remove the OEM piece. It's easier with the lift. It's hot in Vegas here. You can see I'm sweating. But pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, feel free to call us. We can be reached at 702-900-7505. Obviously at tbwperformance.com. Thanks, guys.